Alright, yeah, and welcome back to some more Magic Arena. Today, we're going to be taking part in an event that is not on the screen right now. It's going to be the constantly promoted new event, I say new event, returning event that Wizards have been talking about, and apparently doesn't really deserve to be on the front page for very long at all. We're going to be playing, scroll up, Jumpstart. Yes, Jumpstart's here. Most of you probably might not know, but now you do. I figured I'd do most of the promotion for Wizards by putting out a video for this today, and obviously Arena Cube is also out, and I definitely want to be playing around with that. But Jumpstart was the one that was announced, and Arena Cube barely was, so Jumpstart is. We're going to be playing a little bit of this. This is a format, for those who don't know, where you basically pick two themes. You get to choose between three, I think, at a time, to pick your first theme, and then three to pick your second theme. And then we're going to jam those decks together and play until we get our wins done. I can't remember how long usually my videos would be on this one. I think we'd go until we got our 2 wins at a bare minimum. But sometimes we'd play a little bit on if the combination was very good. Some combinations are trash, and yeah, we're going to see what we can do. So you get to keep everything in the pack, as well as getting 2 Jumpstart rares, which as far as I remember are not duplicated protected, which is, you know, it's a whole can of worms. But let's get into the positive, shall we? Jumpstart's here, and it's an amazing, amazing format that should be permanent. So, let's choose our packs. So we've got the choice between Goblins, Spooky, and Wizards. When I originally did Jumpstart, I kept a list of all the things I'd picked, and I think I've picked all of these in the past. In fact, you can actually see the type of basic land which you can only get by doing Jumpstart. I've definitely picked them all at least once, so it's all about which one do I want to pick the most. And I do love Wizards, at least the tribe. The company, hard to love sometimes, but you know what, deep down, you know, we've got that familial love, you know, the one where you have to love them. Even though they are very mean to you and bully you as a child. Goblins, I think, is probably where I want to go, because Goblins is cool, although Spooky, who knows. So that's my first pack. And then we've got Doctor, Angels, and Spooky. I don't know if any of these particularly go well with the Goblins synergy. I don't remember what the actual contents of the packs are much. I know that you can get Muxus and you can get, like, Krenko out of Goblins. Spooky, I honestly don't remember. Angels is... What's Angels? What's the big one for that one? Some of them have got some, like, really excessively hard to get rares and mythics, I think, but, you know, you got to open a fair few packs for them. Let's go, like, Spooky Goblins. Let's just go for the cool name. Alright. Oh, we got a Muxus. Fantastic. Will it hit much? Who knows? So the rare for Spooky is Black Market. 5 mana enchantment. Whenever a creature dies, put a charge counter on Black Market. The beginning of your pre-combat main phase, add black for each charge counter on Black Market. Well, that does synergize with Goblins to a certain extent, although I don't think we've really got the sync for that mana. But still, yeah, we've got a Death's Matter kind of synergy here for the Spooky side. And then we've got Goblins, who are notorious for wanting to throw themselves at our opponent for the victory. So Muxus is going to be our rare for Goblins, Black Market for our Spooky side, and we get our Spooky Swamp, our Spooky Mountain, and some Thriving Bluffs as well, which typically don't really see much play. Even in Brawl, there's usually a better land for them, but you know what? Let's get going. Let's see you in the gameplay. If you do enjoy the content, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe. Let's do this. This video is brought to you by the generous support of our wonderful patrons and channel members that you see here. If you'd like to support the channel and get access to cool content like sneak peeks, bonus videos, polls on future content, or access to a personal deck critique from myself every month, then hit the join button down below, or check out the Patreon link in the description. With all that said, let's get into the gameplay. Alrighty then, we're in. We've got a turn 1 play, but I think I would much rather get down my Thriving Bluff so I can get down my 2 drops, right? Yeah, I think that's probably worthwhile. If a creature died this turn, you may pay 2. If you do, create a zombie. Yeah, I'm going to take this. You always get a free mulligan as well in Jumpstart. It's very beginner-friendly. Which is why I kind of feel like it should be a permanent feature on Arena, because it's like... This is like intro-level limited, I would say. So our opponent, I think, is playing Demons. I think that's what that swamp means. And then this is Mill. I'm pretty sure that's the case. You can usually tell what your opponent's playing based off of their lands, unless they drop down a Thriving land, and then it could be multiple different things. I think I'm just going to go with an Ornery Goblin. When it becomes blocked or blocks a creature, it deals 1 damage to that creature, so any X1s can't block this. Which is kind of cute. We did draw the Dutiful Attendant. Oh, it's dead. Wait, Eliminate was in Jumpstart? Really? I did not know that was a Jumpstart card. Well, didn't know. Didn't remember is probably a better way to put it. Okay, so we could go 2-drop, 1-drop. Gets around our opponent's removal, I suppose, and counter magic. When it dies, return a creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Probably want to save that for like when the Liliana's Devotee dies. We have no zombies right now. I think I am going to go 2-drop, 1-drop. So let's go Instigator, let's go Sanitarium Skeleton. That way we can go wide around our opponent. We can maybe set up a situation where creatures dying can make us some zombies. Opponent sacks a creature. I will sack the Sanitarium Skeleton, because I can get it back to my hand later. Maybe if I've got nothing better to do, then that would be okay. That is a 1-2 with possible Death Touch, but not actually. Okay, so we're going to go with Liliana's Devotee and Goblin Arsonists. And no attacks here. So it is if a creature died. So even my token can die here and I can pay the 2 to get a zombie. Okay, that's pretty good. There's a 2-3. When this or another creature dies, mill a card. Okay. Okie dokie. Well, it's kind of annoying because we've been kind of stopped in our tracks here. Only my end step that works. Yeah, I don't really want to throw the Attendant under the bus, so let's get our Sanitarium Skeleton back. And play the Skeleton here. Does mean we drop our Devotee mana. But if they were going to kill anything, it would be that anyway, so... Say no-go. Yeah, our opponent's got the big booty creatures here, and... we don't. We kind of have a... very strange game, like... Goblins wants us to play fast. The spooky side kind of wants us to play slow. Well, I'm going to get swinging in here, because I think I'm just going to have Dutiful Attendant have a target anyway, and that's going to be like Liliana's Devotee. Or maybe we just swing with everything else, perhaps. Yeah, probably everything else, because if they block, I can play the Attendant and pay the 2 mana for the Devotee's end of step trigger. This opponent wants to block the 1, which will ping our opponent. Ugh, ruined our top deck. Okay. Oh, and they can mill it. It's kind of what I wanted you to do. I absolutely do. Thanks, opponent. Yeah, I mean... probably just do that. Let's play that, and then the last 2 mana can be spent on the Devotee. Absolutely. And we got ourselves a 3-2. Now we've got a body to swing through that matters, which is pretty nice. Yeah, I'm trying to think what this land means. I think it means demons. Although this imp could make it be anything else. We'll find out soon enough, I'm sure, but... Until then, ooh, a Boggart Brute. Very nice. So, let's throw a creature under the bus to turn it into a 3-2 zombie. I would love a card that allows us to start sacrificing cards. I'm pretty sure we've got those kind of options. So let's send it in. We're not trading great here, but... Still, honestly, a 1-1 isn't as useful as a 3-2. Mills a land, great. And a bone picker would have been nice, unfortunately. But here we are. Let's play the brute, play the land, and pay the 2 for a 3-2. So I guess what we'd really love is like a Burn Bright. That'd allow us to go a little bit wide. A +2/+0. Ah, the Gourmand, the Demon Chef. And we sack a creature. I will sack this 3-2 that I don't think I can stop being tapped. No! The exact card I wanted. How could you? Alright. Sack a creature or discard a card. We lost our black market as well, though it doesn't really do much for us here. It's kind of, I would say, probably up there on the worst of the options. Let's go with the Crypt Lurker. We're going to sacrifice the Sanitarium Skeleton. Ooh, Beetlebat Chief's nice. Munitions would have been nice, but we've milled that now. Honestly, I think we're going in with the Boggart Brute. We've already triggered the Devotee here. But this has got Menace, which means they have to trade the Occultist if they want to kill it. Which I think is fine. As long as my board is bigger than theirs. No, my best cards! Stop it! Cease. Alright. Let's make another 3-2. I mean, Devotee right here has just been carrying us. Ooh, Ghoulcaller Geezer. Oh, so that must be like zombies then, or something like that. Eternal Taskmaster's not bad. So let's swing, swing, swing. Gonna lose something to the Geezer block. Or they're a little too afraid of it going wide. I think we got Beetleback Chief plus Taskmaster here. That way we've got the most creatures on board to push through our opponent here. They do have the Ghoulcaller Geezer though, which can sacrifice a creature to make 5 zombies with the Gourmand. Can they do it whenever they want as well? They can. So that's less than ideal, but it does get rid of at least a 5/5 flyer in the air. We've just got to be aware of that when we go for our attacks here. That we will be trading off. You can get me any creature. Alright, well, we're going to do that and get Muxus, probably. So they're going to get some 2/2s, so we only want to swing in with the things that trade with the 2/2s. And then we want to bring Muxus back to our hand. Ah, interesting. Not what I expected, honestly. I guess now they're going to do the sack. I kind of expected a widespread bit of creature warfare here. But apparently not. So we're going to go Sanitarium Skeleton. We had a creature die, so we can use the Devotee to make a zombie. Which we will. Opponent's going to sack the Gormon to make 5 2/2s. We can block 3 of them. As long as they can't kill that, then we're okay. Target creature gets -1/-1. I don't know if Muxus would get us anything terribly relevant, and this is 3 to activate. Gotta also remember that this can die to the Gulcall Geezer and make a 2/2 as well. Sack a creature. Something gets -1/-1. We have no Death Drain. I guess I'm just going in like this. Could go with the Arsonist. If they ever attack, then I win that way. That's probably worthwhile. I actually can win off that with this Rusalka. You heard me. Alright. So we play the Arsonist, then we play this, activate it immediately, killing it, 1 damage to any target, goes straight to our opponent's face. You're blocking Taskmaster. I'm just going to make sure that the 2/2 dies. Well, it will anyway, because it's a 3/3, but... You get my point, I'd hope. So now we play the Arsonist. Our opponent has the Geezer activation here. So, not necessarily a counterspell on our opponent's end. Wow, it was! Avoided lethal. Okay. Well, let's go wide. Sanitarium Skeleton. Dutiful Attendant. If that dies, we get an Arsonist back. I suppose we could have gone one less Attendant here, but I think we want Attendant in play to die. Because it's lethal if we attack. And lethal if they block. So this is an impossible situation. They cannot win. No cards in hand, nothing to fear. That was a really solid top deck from them for sure. So I'm going to sack a zombie to make 2. And then... Here we go. Sack you. Return. Goblin Arsonist. Arsonist. Sack. We actually pointed at our own creature, but thankfully it didn't matter. Sack the Arsonist. And ping our opponent. Good game. Gotta be careful with those good games. Because some of them want you to click on your own icon so that you can good game them, but then that locks in the Arsonist target to hit you instead, saving them from death. So always make sure you've got lethal before taking part in the etiquette your opponent really wants you to take part in. But yeah, that was a sweet game. Very dirtly from us, though. Worryingly dirtly, I would say. I don't know if this is the best combination of cards, really. Maybe if the packs were slightly different, they might synergize a little bit better, but so far, we won, but I'm not sure we won in a good way, so hopefully in the next game we can go and win again, and then we'll be back on a later date for another Jumpstart thing. Isamaru, Hound of Condor. Probably a card I will not be playing outside of Brawl, so multiples of that, which I know I already have one of. Not really that great, but we got another chance for another rare there as well, so let's get to it. Okay then, we're in, and bit awkward with the Thriving Bluff, but otherwise it's a fine hand. It's a fine early game hand, but, you know, the mana base is the slow part here. We can go turn 2 Taskmaster, I suppose. It's still a 2-3 that we can play down, even if it is tapped. Maybe we even go wide with the Instigator. Who really knows? We've got this Rusalka thingamajig. We can use to sack Goblins off to kill our opponent's creatures, if that should matter. So opponents took their free mull, then they mulled to 6, it appears. Yep, mull to 6. Fantastic. So this is a red one, so we want to name black. They are a green deck, and they're naming blue. Okay. Always take note, the one important part about these Thriving lands, if you want to guess what they're playing, this part is always matching the colour of the pack that they chose. So this Thriving Bluff came from our Goblins pack. We've also got a black Thriving land, and obviously we're giving away what we are as well. I think I might just... Well, it's hard to say really, because I could go with the Taskmaster. It's a 2-3 that's a lot more likely to push through than the Instigator is. I think that's probably what we want to do. But, you know, its activated ability, while we probably won't be using it, also doesn't really have a good use. These lands mean Teferi. So they are Teferi something. A green deck of some sort. Scry to the top. Well, we don't have to worry about killing with the Rusalka just yet. So let's get in for R2. And then I will play Swamp, Instigator, Rusalka, I think. Gives us a token that we can ping off to make sure that our more powerful creatures aren't like getting double blocked by the Savant. That, I think, is Dinosaurs. Though I'm not sure on that one. It's been a long time since I've seen the exact naming for all of them. I know this one for a fact is Teferi. I quite remember it being mediocre. As long as you got your Teferi, it was okay, but anything else, it was a little bit weak. Which is kind of funny. Okay, let's play our Swamp. And it looks like we can only really get in with our Taskmaster here. If our opponent blocks with Greenseeker, then we can threaten the 1 token and play Boggart Brute. I think that's our line of play here. I'm happy to trade a 1-1 for a 1-3 Greenseeker. Play our Brute. And yeah, pass the turn. I might still trade a token here for a 2-1, but it all depends on what our opponent slaps down here. Wild Heart Invoker, 4-3. Got to be very, very aware of that card. It's quite the threat. So we do need another red land for Muxus. The earlier we get Muxus down, the better. Imagine if we could get Goblins and Muxus was one of our hits. Now that would be wonderful. So I think I'm going to kill the Savant. I'm actually going to get rid of the Instigator because it's a thing that Taskmaster can at least pull back. And that might end up just being the extent of our turn. We did get our mountains, that's pretty nice. So like, I can get in with my Boggart Brute. I can get in with my Taskmaster, because I know that the Rusalka can set this token to present, basically, death for either one of these that blocks, which is really nice. And I think I am going to get back my Instigator. I can play the Instigator if they don't do some blocking, which they did. I'm going to make sure that this 4-3 dies. So let's give this -1/-1, getting rid of the token. Let's make sure we're doing that right. There we go. Happy for that trade. And then we can play a Goblin Arsonist, which we can sack and do an X2 ping there, which isn't too bad either. Green Seeker whiffs on a land, good to know. And whiffs on a land again. You can tell they've got a 5-drop. Goblin Commando enters battlefield. It deals 2 damage to any target. Hey, that's a pretty good hit there, actually. Boom. Oh! Oh, you love to see it. Absolutely fantastic. Alright, that was actually pretty good. That Rusalka is secretly quite a powerful card, as it turns out. I'm sure there's plenty of matchups where it's pretty bad, but like if we came up against like something like Elves, for example, or a Goblins on their end, that'd be pretty decent. Rage Blood Shaman. Ah, Minotaurs. My favourite tribe that is bad. What a what a good tribe. What a good tribe. Other Minotaurs get +1/+1 and trample. This tribe just doesn't get enough love. It's pretty sweet. I love it. But I'm a very much a Theros set kind of lover, you know. I just love that kind of mythology style thing. So, you know, Minotaurs just fit right into there. So that was pretty short. I think we've got time for one more game, but we have got our 2 wins now. So win or lose, this will be our last game. So hopefully you guys have been enjoying today's Jumpstart. I do want to mention again, if you have been enjoying, I would greatly appreciate if you do hit the like button. It just gives this video a little bit of a boost. Let me know if you've been playing Jumpstart and what your favourite combinations are as well, and maybe I'll try to hit them in a future video as well. I definitely want to play some more Jumpstart, but I can only do that with the support of you guys letting me know that you actually want to see it. Otherwise, I might just play it in my off time, because I do very much enjoy this format. But yeah, let's get to the last game. Alrighty, we're in, and we got a 2-drop. Enters battlefield, target creature can't block this turn, so that'd be a pretty reasonable 3-drop if we miss a land at the very least. Yeah, let's keep this. It could be better, but it could be far worse, so there is that. Let's lead with our Swamp. Our opponent is playing... Oh god, what is this one called? It's like Knowledge or something like that. I think it's like all about drawing cards and creatures that care about cards in hand and stuff like that. And Phyrexians is their other option. Hopefully we don't see Phyrexian Obliterator. That was in Jumpstart, right? Pretty sure it was. When it dies, it deals 2 damage to any target. Ugh. That's a bit of a stinger, honestly, that card. I mean, for now, I could, like, shortcutter it. But that is going to be a big deal going forward, for sure. Okay. I really do want to get these Phyrexian lands, though. I don't think I can really leave Jumpstart until I've got them. They're just so cool. Maya Sire. When it dies... Oh, they got Curiosity on it as well. Oh my god, our opponent is good at Magic the Gathering. Yeah, I mean, I'm probably just, like, trading my entire board into this, aren't I? And then playing Dutiful Attendant. At least then I can get back a Taskmaster or something like that with it. Yeah, I mean... It is what it is. I can't let that Mia control my game plan for the rest of time, so I'm gonna have to deal with it now. Let's go Dutiful Attendant here. Play the Thriving Bluff on black. And then we have the Finishing Blow at the very least. In case our opponent plays something very powerful. When it attacks, draw a card. Probably can't be having them do that. Though it's not really the worst creature ever either. Make the Attendant a 3/2 to push through. This is instant speed as well. I don't think there's any way any world where they double block, but we might as well try for the potential blowout. Yeah, I'm just going to get rid of their infinite card draw there. That seems like a very bad thing to let them have. Yeah, more card draw. Yeah, I think this is like knowledge. I think that's what it's called. Ping me for one. And pass Liliana's Devotee. Again, I don't see a world where they're blocking, so let's at least pump the Attendant up, or try. Dousing Gloom. Okay. Alright. Well, our opponent's flooding out a little bit. Never mind. That's probably all they needed. Yeah, I think this was probably going to be a loss. Sanitarium Skeleton. I just don't have good cards here, really, so... Let's at least use the Attendant, I suppose, to keep our opponent back. Although, if I did this now, I could get a creature back and do something with it. Oh, yeah. They could just block. That's a thing. Implant. Interesting. Beginning of your upkeep, enchanted creature's controller sacrifices it and you gain a 1/1 Mia. I could just sack it now. I could just sack it now. Ping your Mia, sack it. I'm not going to get in with the Attendant. The Visionary has proven it's worth on the battlefield here. End step, though, I might do a block and sack with the Rusalka. Who knows? I do kind of like the idea of having a Devotee on board, because it carried us in the first game. Opponent's drawn all the lands. They were going to be on, like, gas from here on out. In theory, at least. Boggart Brute's not bad. It allows me to trade with the Gargantua as long as the Rusalka sticks around. So I could get a 2-drop. So it could be the Taskmaster I get back. If I wanted to do that. I don't think I do just yet. Opponent loots. Land into the yard. Wow, the flood is real on their end. But after the flood, there comes a never-ending drought. And unfortunately, once they've got all that mana, they've got a lot of time to spend using it on good top decks. Like Phyrexian Reclamation. Damn. Yeah, I mean, if they keep returning their Perilous Mia, they can do it for quite some time. And it'll allow them to pick off some pretty important creatures and also slow me down to no end. So, am I going to actually use my Rusalka here? I could sack Skeleton and Attendant to kill the Servitor. We both draw a card. I get the first benefit out of that. Kind of want to do that. It doesn't come at too much of a cost of me, and I do eventually want to get my Attendant killed. I think we're going with... it's hard to say. I think we're going with the Devotee. So each player draws a card. Deals damage equal to the number of creatures you control. That's going to be useful later, but not right now. So Devotee. Sanitarium Skeleton. And pass the turn. Yeah, Outnumber can get rid of the Gargantua, so that's cool. It will obviously, though, come back with the Phyrexian Reclamation. I honestly don't know how we beat that. That is a combo I cannot work around. Does it? It did lose them life. Alright, so to draw and get it back, it would cost them 4 life all the time. Oh no. Okay. That's much less of a problem. That could have duressed me, right? Yeah. They could have taken my Outnumber. They're actually just going to block into my Sanitarium Skeleton. I'm fine with that. It's entirely possible I have nothing better to do with my turn. Next time around. Ooh. Whenever a creature dies, it gets +2/+2. I'm fine with that. This is instant speed as well, so I can make a big creature that blocks the Gargantua and kills something else. Probably like the Visionary, or even, well, Tolarian Cracker, maybe not so much. Ah, perhaps I should have gone in with a Boggart Brute there. I'm unsure, because the Mia gets to ping off my Rusalka then, and it's kind of like my best card. That was a weird noise. Carrier. Alright. So this is pretty good. So we're going to block the Gargantua, and I think we're killing the Debaser. Which will pump up our Grinner and also kill the Gargantua. Seems pretty good. Oh my god, they scooped. Why? Why would you scoop? I genuinely don't know if there was a really good chance of me winning there. Like, our opponent's attack was certainly shameful. So there's a shame scoop factor involved. But yeah, I don't know if they were losing. Just pull back your Gargantua for 4 life, you got a 4/4 2 extra cards, you can just keep going. Maybe they thought they couldn't do much after that. Like, we do have a Sanitarium Skeleton blocking it forever. So maybe we just kind of attrition them over time. That's maybe what they were thinking. And we have this Rusalka that can make the Grinner large as well. I just don't know if we were really in a good spot there. Like, even the Tolarian Kraken, this thing can tap the crap out of my team, and they can swing that way as well. Like, the Gargantua drawing 2 is a 2-mana trigger here with the Kraken. They can just tap me down. And I just kind of lose everything. But, you know what? This isn't like an infinite combo. It will eventually get them to a point where they can't pay the life anymore. So maybe that's what they were thinking with their 15 cards left. I don't know. But either way, I'll take it. It was a good game nonetheless. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe, and leave a comment down below. Let me know what your favorite combination has been so far in Jumpstart, if you have been playing it. Let me know if you want to see more as well. And other than that, hope you have a great night, and ta-ra.